everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the St. Lawrence Coaches Corner. My name is Megan Nichols, and joining me today is head men's and women's golf coach, Mary Lawrence. Mary, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Meg. This is great, getting on Coach's Corner to see someone familiar again. I'm just so happy to be here.
No problem. I'll get to my first question of the day for you. Thankfully, you guys were able to play in some local tournaments this fall. Can you tell me a little bit about how those went and some of the precautions that you took to make those happen?
Well, I guess I could go back when we started in May. I would say golf became one of the most popular sports for the season because every other sport was shut down. So our golf course was extremely busy. I was busy giving lessons, and it really didn't seem like much was going on because golf course was kind of the sanctuary for everybody to get away. Let's go back. In August, the team came back. I saw a lot of them playing, but I couldn't be with them because of the restrictions. September 15th, we started practice. And what happened is through a lot of work, we had the opportunity to play 3 play days with Clarkson, Paul Smith, and Canton College. The first one was at our golf course. One of the precautions we took was that all the teams came in, they had their own little area to hit in, practice in on the range. And as soon as the time was to shoot off, we have shotguns. They all took off, and when they came in, the coaches gave us their scorecards. The student athlete had to leave the premise, and we recorded the scores and passed them on through email. Then the following Sunday, we were over at Potsdam Country Club playing at Clarkson. Same thing happened. And then the last week, which was October 11th, we went to Partridge Run to play at Canton College. And exactly the same thing. We all got there, practiced, and then teed off and came in and left. So we had no issues. I didn't hear from any coaches saying that any kids were sick. And the team really enjoyed the competition, even though it was limited to our local area. It gave them some hope and just seeing what it was like. Everyone on our golf team, which we have 15 men and 7 women, all played. So that was the nice part about it. It gave everybody the opportunity to compete. And we had a really good fall. The only difference was we didn't travel. So we were very, very fortunate.
Right. And that's awesome. And obviously it's a little easier to maintain your social distancing while you're golfing because you can spread out quite a bit. What did it mean to your team to be able to compete a little bit and still get to practice this fall? And I know you had a few different extra additions that got to golf too. So what did that mean to them, even though they couldn't play their primary sport?
Well, prior to September 14th, we didn't think we were going to have any competition. So I would run into the team because they'd come over and practice and work out and stuff. And you could just tell they were just not into it. They were just kind of hitting golf balls and, communicating. And when I brought them together, we had a little meeting together, and I said, we're going to be able to play in 3 events. It was amazing how their whole attitude and their whole demeanor changed. They were more upbeat. They were more competitive. They were looking forward to coming to practice. So it really did work on the mental aspect of it. Along with our 3 little play days we did do a inter-squad Ryder Cup format, and that lasted for 3 weeks. And it was great because we had 8 players on each side playing, and it was very competitive. And at the end of the day, it was split right down the middle. So all of them enjoyed so-called victory. And we also had one qualifying round to see where they were going to be placed in the pecking order to play in these play days. So yes, I did see some real changes in their mental health and outlook after we had these play days arranged.
That's awesome.
It was.
Are you expecting most of your team to be back this spring, or are some spread out in the summer? And what are some hopes that you have for the ones that do get to come back in the spring?
Well, I just found out as of yesterday, we had about a 3-week, actually, it was about 2 weeks of practice in the indoor. They would come in, groups of 5 would come in and work out the indoor for an hour and a half in each session. And right now, I believe we're going to have almost 90% of our team back for the spring. A lot of them were waitlisted for the spring session and got in. And there are a few that are coming in the summer, but most of them are coming back. And yeah, I think it's going to be fun for them. I don't know what the outcome will be for competition in April because our season's very limited. I know the spring break is not going to happen, and that usually is our 1 week where we all go to Florida and play some just absolutely beautiful golf courses. So the spring season, it's kind of up in the air. We'll see if we even get to play in April to go maybe down play Skidmore or Hamilton, possibly Rochester. I don't know right now. We won't know until probably maybe a couple months before that. So, but we do have the indoor golf center, and they do enjoy coming in there and playing.
Awesome. Well, Mary, that was all I had for you today. So I want to wish everybody the best heading into the last part of this semester. And I hope that the spring is able to bring at least a little bit of competition like it did this fall. And I just want to say thank you to everyone for tuning into this week's episode of the St. Lawrence Coaches Corner.
Thank you very much. And I want to wish everybody a happy holiday, to my team, to my coaching friends. And we are going to miss having our Christmas party with Mayor and Kate and Catherine at the horse barn. I know they're going to miss us.
That's for sure. The horses will definitely miss the treats too, I think.
Yeah, that's right. So thank you again.
No problem. Thanks, Mary.